Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teigan and it's been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah, I got sick and I couldn't talk for like a good week and a half, so my voice is back. I sound normal. I don't sound like I'm going through a second stage of boys' puberty. Great, that's what we're doing. So long awaited, just a long video coming is my Twilight Part 2. And my voice cracked a little bit then as well. So yeah, Twilight Part 2. So let's just kick it off straight away. Starting with Eclipse. There's so much that annoys me about this series now. And it's hard to say, do I still love the series? Not love the series, but I enjoyed it as a kid. And do I love it now? Honestly, no. Whether my expectations going into this was wrong or just I can't get a hold of this series anymore. I have quite a few problems with this book in particular. And I have a list. I think it's page 56 and 57. Edward is being very possessive and Bella's being codependent. A continuation of the previous two books. We love to see it. It's hard to get angry because there was a time that I was incredibly angry at this book. And I suppose it's just been too long now. I probably should have recorded it when I was more angry. Or I don't know if recording it now, that would be better. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But there's just some making light of certain disorders, specifically OCD I think in this one. Whether that's a cultural thing at the time, I don't know. I think cultural was in like, it was okay then, so I'm feeling about that. But the main issue I have with this book is Jacob, imprinting, and Jacob's whole attitude in this book pissed me right off in so many ways. Just imprinting itself is weird to me. The whole, it doesn't matter what age it's imprinting, but it's not, you know, weird because it's a protective kind of thing. Okay, sure. Yeah, still not fond of it, still not happy. But to get on to some specifics with things that I really dislike about Jacob and what he does in this book. It's his entire thing with Bella, and while their relationship as a whole is not particularly clear, we go on to like specifically page 293 and kind of onwards, and Jacob's trying to convince Bella that she loves him. Now that okay, yeah, verbally that's fine. Jacob forces a kiss on Bella from page like 293. It gets to a point where she just can't push him off her, so she pretended that she was a statue and waited at the top of page 294. The fact that he's then happy about it, she punches him, understandably, but of course werewolf, so she breaks her hand, and it's just his entire reaction to the situation. Consent is a thing. I've talked about this in other, like a video I made near the start of my channel. I freaking love when books have consent, and this Jacob doesn't understand the meaning of that word. I think it might not be even in his vocabulary. It just his entire reaction, and then what's worse, to add on to kind of like, oh, the anger's coming back. That's good. That's great. The fact that then when Jacob takes Bella home to Charlie, he congratulates Jacob for assaulting his daughter. And oh, Charlie, you know, you weren't an awful dad, but I mean, you're taking a dive. It really annoyed me. It annoyed me so much about Jacob. And then Charlie. Edward gets very protective, bordering possessive, but I can it's like a pass at this point, because Jacob just I can't even. He really annoyed me with that stunt. The fact then it's a repeated thing in the book with Jacob not understanding consent is great. Basically page 302, there's Bella doesn't have a it's, maybe this is me just kind of in my anger picking holes in this, but it's basically Jacob and Edward are going back and forth saying, well, if she wanted to kiss me, well then, you know, but she didn't, and like, Bella is mine, she is mine, kind of being a bit, again, too possessive, mildly objectifying Bella at this point. Nah, this one's not really, it's a fault in the book, I suppose, just because I don't find Bella particularly likeable. She's just very dependent. Granted, vampires are trying to kill her, but still, it's just not really my kind of cup of tea anymore. I obviously liked it. I wonder, I do wish I could have interviewed younger me to explain why I was so obsessed with this series, because I have no idea. Honestly, one of my notes is literally just Jake shut up, so this will be probably interesting. So you got Jacob being creepy, where he's just like, you know, Bella's saying she's only kissed Edward before, Jake's saying he's kissed her, but it's like more of a, don't think of it as a kiss, think of more of a, oh, ouch, that's cold. He says he apologises, and he does, but he more apologises for the fact that she got hurt rather than for the kiss itself. And even then, with his reactions in the book, there is at no point where he seems to have regretted the fact that he kind of took away that consent from Bella in order to push his feelings on her. Great there, Jake. Love it. Sure, you're fantastic. It kind of just gets worse from here on out, pretty much. And in page 466 to 470, according to previous Teigan reading, yeah, this is where Jacob threatens to kill himself unless Bella, you know, well, because Bella doesn't love him, and that she doesn't care about him. So he manipulates by threatening to kill himself so that she'll kiss him and admit that she loves him. Thanks, Jake. You know, didn't think you were a piece of shit before. Certainly don't need that now. No. And I guess my last thing for this book, on page 527, basically a repeat of the incident that he doesn't regret, telling Bella that he'll kill himself, so he manipulates her into kissing him again. This is my least favourite book ever, as it stands. I don't know if it's because this particular year I'm reading some really great books recommended to my friends over on Discord, as well as books that I've always wanted to read, but I am just finding that I hate this book. Gave it like 1 star, and it's mostly because of Jacob's actions. Bella's codependency and Edward's possessiveness is kind of throughout the books, and I get it, it's supposed to be romantic somehow. You know, people don't hate. It's like, it was popular to hate Twilight for a bit, and I get it. It was also really popular to love Twilight. I think with the books, you need to, if you're going to read them, especially now, that you need to take them with a pinch of salt, which is something I'm learning to do. Just to briefly touch on the novella of A Short Second Life of Britannia, it was fine. There was nothing bad about it. Nothing particularly good about it, in my opinion. It adds to the story, I guess, with the more on the other side of what's happening when Eclipse is happening. The only thing that I have a complaint about is where Bree's age is like, she could be 15, she could be 16, she might be 17. And then the guy that she's having a crush on, Diego, he's like, could be 18, could be 19. We don't really know their ages. And I'll put it on worst case scenario, say she's 15 and he's 19, that's weird to me. So I just wish it was kind of like, no, she's 17 and he's like 18, 19. Cool, I can deal with that. Granted, Edward is how many hundreds of years old and Bella's 17. But, I mean, you know, it's vampires, what can you say? Woo! Moving on to Breaking Dawn. I think Breaking Dawn broke me. Just in the sense, it took me so long to get through this book. It's just so long. And while I don't have many notes on it, because again, there's nothing particularly bad about this book. The only thing that I really have complaints about is on page 166 to 167, where Jacob and Edward are discussing Bella, because at this point in the book, spoilers if you haven't read it, Bella's having a baby and she really wants this baby because it's Edward's baby. So Edward baby, obviously best baby. Edward doesn't understand this because he can't read her mind. I was about to say he's not a mind reader, but just to Bella. But basically their discussion is that if Bella really wants to have a kid or wants kids, then she can go to Jacob's on the weekends to make the babies. And Jacob was like, that's kind of gross, but still, it's weird. You can point it out and say, oh, that's weird, all you like. I still don't just no. Again, the whole imprinting with Jacob and Renesmee. Also, the fact that the baby's called Renesmee totally should have been Carly, in my opinion. The dads are more prominent in the series. And Carly is just, it sounds like a name. Sounds horrible. That's just my opinion. I know Carly's the second name, but still. And that's kind of my, just Breaking Dawn, it did take a while. It's like Midnight Sun. I think at this point, my tolerance for this series has just gone down as the series has progressed. There's not much more I can do. I'm currently reading Midnight Sun, so there'll be like one more installment, like a mini version of this, where I'm going to talk about Midnight Sun and probably why I don't like it. At the moment, I'm reading it. It's just, I find it funny with a question mark, that when there's talk about when Edward is stalking, and he kind of calls himself out for stalking, but then continues to do it. And I get it, it's in the first book, and I guess it needs to be like in a reasoned way, and it's just because you feel like you must protect her, and I'm so like, doesn't stop it being creepy, doesn't stop it being weird. It's fine. I'm not even halfway through it, and I said to myself at the start of the month that I'd read it and get it over with, and that's probably why I haven't gotten through it, because there's just been so many better books on my TBR. Anyway, completely thing. That's kind of like part 2 of Twilight. Why Twilight sucks. The title is more to not shock. Clickbait? Question mark. Anyway, I'm not going to promise when I'm going to make a video again. It's going to be somewhat regular, like maybe every couple weeks. I'm trying to get my driving license and sort out work and lots of things, so life is just getting with me. I was sick, which is why I have a chance to record much. But with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of me rambling, mildly ranting about Twilight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.